Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, in deck number 556, we're going to talk about some old school Orzhov. Back before Orzhov was Orzhov. Selenia Dark Angel. Now, she is has a role in the Weatherlight saga. I won't go into it now because it's rather lengthy. But for a 5 mana, you get a 3/3 Angel. Now, this was back in the day when if you were a legend, you were just a legend. And they had to spell out what type you were if it was important enough for them to matter. So, Selenia Dark Angel counts as an angel. I remember the first time I read that, I was like, well, do angels count differently than we count? Anyway, you pay 2 life to return her to your hand. Now, I've done several Orzhov decks, and yes, there are probably some ways to really abuse that pay 2 life ability, because you can pay 2 and in response pay 2 again, in response pay 2 again, and if you just want to get your life total down way down low. But that's not what I did. I'll be honest with you. Two cards had been kind of just chilling in the bill box forever is Darkest Hour, making all creatures black, and then Absolute Grace, giving all creatures protection from black. So, with everything being black and everything having pro black, that means, well, no creature can be blocked. All creatures are essentially unblockable. And the third card of that was, I was like, well, if everything's unblockable, then I should probably just run out Phage. But then I thought, well, you know what? That's not a deck. That's 3 cards. Maybe I can stretch it to a couple more. But I was like, so if everything's black, I start running stuff like Circle of Protection black. I love that simple art, by the way. And Rune of Protection black. I like the Rune, really, a lot better. Just because you can cycle it away. Yes, it does require a white mana payment instead of a colorless mana payment, but I think we've got it. So that was kind of my starting point for the deck, was black-white color shenanigans, to where, I'll make everything black and nothing black can hurt me, and And then I was like, well, I need an Urborg. Well, I don't have an Urborg. So I was like, well, I got Blanket of Nights, the poor man's Urborg. 3 mana enchantment does the same thing that Urborg does. I was like, so that way, if I had Blanket of Night and like Personal Sanctuary, then Karma wouldn't do anything to me. Karma would legit kill everybody else eventually. So, so here I am with that, and I realize that I may not get, some of the pieces to the puzzle. But like a Light of Sanction, prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control by sources you control. Well, that's perfect for keeping a Pestilence out there. Right? So, Pestilence lasts forever, because my creatures have pro-black from the enchantment, or even if they don't have pro-black, I'm running the Death Speakers, Order of the White Shield, Order of the Leetbeer, who naturally have pro-black, so that they stay around. So, and Pestilence, if a black source will deal damage, you prevent 2 of that. Well, Pestilence only does 1, so we're in. And then, can you hit the box? Death Pits of Wrath says 1 point Pestilence, wrath the board. Oh wait, but not mine, because they can't be dealt damage on my turn. Yeah. Another card, just a pile of cards I wanted to play with in black and white, pretty much. Force Bubble. If damage would be dealt to you, put that many depletion counters on it. When there are 4 or more depletion counters on it, sack it. At the end of turn, you remove all counters from it. This is a really cool card if it wasn't for that whole 4 or more sack it. So that's why I was like, well, dang it, twice now. I'll run Solemnity so it can't get counters. So that was pretty much the start of the deck, and I spread them all out, and I was like, man, and all those enchantments. This is a black-white enchantment deck. So I was like, well, yeah, that it is. So, that caused me to run stuff like Sigil of the Empty Throne, Daxos, Skull of Orm to get those enchantments back, Starfield Mystic to making them cheaper, Intangible Virtue, because, 5/5 angels with vigilance are way better than 4/4, right? Crazy stuff like Ajani's Chosen, Euphemia, Necromancer's Covenant. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just crazy stuff. Silent Sentinel kind of topping off that curve. Well, this and Phage, anyway. Martyr's Bond. Mesa Enchantress, which is more or less less creature and more card draw. So I guess that's a good place to segue into that. We got Sign in Blood, Read the Bones, Dark Tutelage. Because let's face it, we need card draw. And love me some enchantment card draw, because that's what we're doing in the deck. No Profusion. Now, No Profusion is awesome. It is black recycle. Exactly. I am running also Library of Lang. Now, you have to be careful as to which order you play these in, because if you run your Library of Lang out there and then you play your No Profusion timestamp order, kind of, so watch yourself. Ramp, gotta have a Dark Ritual, a Signet, Searchlight, and a Clue Stone. What other enchantments we got here? Did pick up a couple more copies of the Underworld Dreams from Theros. Yeah, it's uncommon now, but it's not that uncommon. I mean, I've seen more of some of the rares than I've seen of Underworld Dreams. It's kind of weird. Worship, pretty good, pretty good enchantment there. Coscom Falls. Now, if you're not familiar with Coscom Falls, this is the Black Propaganda or Ghostly Prison. Yeah, you have to tap a creature during your upkeep. It costs one more, but it's exactly Propaganda or Ghostly Prison. That's outstanding for black. Homelands represent. Light of Day, just in case. Because I've got Light of Day in there, and yes, this means I can't attack with creatures either, but let's face it, we don't have a whole lot of creatures. We're banking on drawing that Sigil. But, yeah, the Enlightened Tutor, Idyllic Tutor, all those would be perfect. Well, all the tutors, because this is black and white. We could run all the tutors. But, I don't know. Didn't have them, and I thought, well, it'd be much more fun if it happened naturally. Shielded by Faith. Enchanted creature has Indestructible. And Monk Idealist, because, to get that enchantment back. But I've had a couple full copies of the Tainted Sigil for a while now. And I really kind of like this, especially in a Pestilence style deck. Sack it to gain life equals the total life lost by all players this turn. So, is Pestilencing for 5 out of the realm of possibilities? No. You could totally do it for 5. And sack this and gain 20. Or, I don't know. Just a crazy thing. Got 2 last creatures. We got Teysa, who just already has pro creatures. And, it's got that, don't hit me clause in there. And then Rashka. Now, this makes 3 count them, 3 Homelands cards in the deck. The Death Speakers was also Homelands. Even though I'm using the reprint ones, it was originally from Homelands. I didn't use the Homelands one because the only Homelands ones I have now are foreign language. I think they're called Psychopampas. I don't know. But anyway, Rashka the Slayer. Gotta look. I mean, really, really look for places to put some of these Homelands cards. Because otherwise, they would be just left out and getting no play. Let's look at some removal. Now, I say removal, all of this is very conditional. Because if we made all creatures black and all creatures pro-black, then it turns, a good chunk of this off. I get it. But that's, that's not always going to be the case. We are running, Cruel Edict, Diabolic Edict. Those kind of help, because they target the player. Zealous Persecution, taking care of all them tokens. D-Spark, Nausea. Apparently, I'm really, really worried about the 1/1 tokens. Dark Betrayal is a good one. Destroy target black creature. If you get the Darkest Hour and not one of the other pieces, you get a 1-mana kill spell. Banishing Light, Mortify, Pacifism, because, enchantments, why not? Eternal Isolation, Demystify, Terror, Celestial Purge, and the 2 interventions, Ereboses, because let's face it, yes, these are our modal cards and we have a choice, but we're not running this to exile cards from graveyards, you know what I'm saying? Just like we're not running Heliod's Intervention to gain life. We're running it for removal. Now, our non-basic lands had to put Heliod's Intervention, or Hall of Heliod's Generosity in there, just because, it gets you that enchantment back. Evolving Wilds, Tainted Field, Orzhov Basilica, Caves of Koilos, Orzhov Guildgate, Scap Barrens, Forsaken Sanctuary. Notice what's missing. There's no Rogue's Passage. Didn't figure Selenia would probably be going in for the commander damage win, so that's why I didn't do that way. But I've had Selenia in the box for a while. I guess you can tell. You can tell how old her name sticker is, as opposed to the brand new number sticker that's on there. It's so old. It's gotten aged. So yeah, I had started off gonna do like Orzhov Gold. Oh. Be careful, folks. Thank goodness it was just a swamp. But, see, I've already done... Well, let's try to get down where we can not see those dang lights. This is going to be hard. Yeah, I got to reposition those lights to... I think I'll try that as soon as I finish this video. But I've already done a gold Orzhov deck way back there somewhere. So that is 556, and we are going to go put it on the wall. That one Orzhov sticker sticking out amongst all the rest. That's kind of cool. Well, I do appreciate y'all watching. Everybody stay safe, and let me know what you think. But right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.